Hours before Milton ever made landfall, the hurricane fueled a tornado outbreak across Florida.
And one of those tornadoes actually touched down in Cocoa Beach. Fox 35's Stephanie Buffamonte is joining us live from there right now to show us the damage. Hi, Stephanie.
Hey guys, good evening to you both. You can see the damage here to this Wells Fargo bank. We just got word that this is a confirmed EF1 tornado, 85 to 95 mile per hour peak wind gusts. And with me now, we have Will Ulrich, the warning coordination meteorologist with the National Weather Service. Will, thank you so much for joining us. Can you talk about what happened yesterday?
Sure, yeah. So we've been out here conducting a storm survey to see the extent of damage here in Cocoa Beach and to confirm that it was indeed a tornado. We believe at around 5:50 yesterday evening, a waterspout pushed ashore the Atlantic Ocean right around the Royal Palms condominiums, moved across A1A, and then eventually affected some residents here on Cocoa Beach, producing wind speeds of 85 to 95 miles per hour before exiting into the Banana River.
And we were live last night in that residential area, and you could see parts of this Wells Fargo bank in their backyards, on their homes. Can you talk about the distance that this traveled?
Sure. The tornado itself was only on the island for around 3 to 4 minutes. However, it lofted a lot of debris. In other words, it picked it up and carried it across the island. So we saw a significant amount of roof material spread across South Banana Boulevard, as well as St. Croix Boulevard, which again is along the Banana River. And so this tornado was able to pick up that material and carry it a significant distance. And that's one of the things that we look for to confirm that it was a tornado. In other words, the damage doesn't suggest that a material was pushed down, it was picked up. And so that's what allows us to confirm, along with a couple of other indicators using our radar at the Melbourne National Weather Service office, to confirm that this was indeed a tornado.
We're learning that there were the most tornadoes ever in one day in the state of Florida yesterday due to Hurricane Milton. What was it about this hurricane?
So we're still working to confirm the number of official tornadoes that occurred across the state, but I will tell you it will likely go down as one of the busiest tornado events that we've ever seen in the state. The National Weather Service issued 120 plus tornado warnings yesterday, which is the most we've ever issued in a 24-hour period. Hurricane Milton, because of its strength over the southeastern Gulf of Mexico, really increased the wind shear over the state, and that allowed to a prolific tornado event that occurred across the central and especially the southern portion of the state. Our National Weather Service offices in Key West, Tampa, Miami, and Melbourne will continue to look for additional damage paths so that we can confirm an exact number of tornadoes. We don't yet have that for Melbourne. This is the first tornado that we've confirmed.
Okay. Well, Will, thank you for your time. Thank you for all that you do. We really do appreciate it. And just one more look at the roof here. So there is a lot of cleanup left to do here in Cocoa Beach, not only here, but of course in the residential areas with those homes that have a lot of damage right now. For now, we'll send it back to you.
Artificial intelligence is rapidly revolutionizing the healthcare industry, especially in the fight against cancer. With its ability to analyze vast data sets and uncover patterns beyond human capability, AI is emerging as a game changer in diagnosing and treating this devastating disease. One of the most significant advancements lies in development of AI-powered imaging technologies that allow for label-free analysis of single cells. By observing cancer cells in their natural state, researchers can gain critical insights into how these cells behave and interact with treatments. This capability could lead to more personalized therapies tailored to individual patients, enhancing the effectiveness of treatments while minimizing side effects. Additionally, machine learning algorithms can analyze historical patient data to identify which treatments are most effective for specific cancer types. This predictive power not only aids in diagnosis, but also streamlines the development of new therapies, accelerating the path from laboratory to clinic. AI is also enhancing drug discovery processes. By stimulating how different compounds interact with cancer cells, researchers can rapidly identify promising candidates for clinical trials, reducing the time and cost associated with traditional methods. The potential of AI in oncology extends beyond treatment. It can also improve patient monitoring and follow-up care. AI systems can analyze patient data in real time, alerting healthcare providers to any signs of recurrence or complications, allowing for timely interventions. Now, as these technologies continue to evolve, the prospect of AI significantly reducing cancer mortality rates within the next few years becomes increasingly realistic. With ongoing advancements, we may soon see a future where cancer is not just managed but effectively conquered.
Well, did you happen to catch this dazzling display of lights all over the DMV last night? These are just a few of the many photos of the incredible northern lights that were spotted around our area. And 7 News' Jay Korf has been talking with some of the spectators and the photographers who are just left in awe. Jay is live now along the National Mall outside the National Air and Space Museum. Jay, I think anybody who saw it's been talking about it nonstop between last night and today because we're still pretty mesmerized by this one.
Indeed, and I got to tell you, one of the key questions that I asked a professional who took some photos, were any of those photos manipulated? And he said absolutely not. What unfolded last night in the skies above us, some are calling magical.
From Skyline Drive to the National Mall to the National Cathedral, the Northern Lights set ablaze with color parts of the DMV Thursday evening. Daniel Weatherholt tells us that he was on the verge of tears while taking this photo from his home in Northwest D.C. For Kathleen Cairns, the magic unfolded while attending a football game in Maryland.
And then all of a sudden, the band members and then people watching turned around and were all going to the top of the stands to look out onto the soccer field. And the colors were just amazing. Amazing doesn't even describe it. And it lasted about 4 minutes and then it kind of faded out. But no one was watching the football game at that point. So that was funny.
Cairns says the stands fell silent amid the euphoria of that moment.
You're watching and then it started to fade. And I was like, is it going to come back? And it was like, nope, that's how magic works. And it was gone. But it was beautiful.
From Maryland to D.C. to Virginia, words alone cannot describe the feeling we have when the universe communicates with us.
I have been to Iceland and I've been to Scotland several times, even in the winter. I have never seen the Northern Lights. So now I saw the Northern Lights in Maryland. That's insane.
And scientists have some good news for us. If you missed last night, not the end of the world, because the sun right now is apparently in about 11, 12-year cycle where it's ejecting a lot of events and activity. And because of that, the likelihood will increase that we will get to enjoy Aurora Borealis more often in the coming months. Reporting live along the National Mall, Jay Korf.
President of the United States, President Donald J. Trump.
And I'm proud to be an American. Don't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota, and sea, from Detroit down to Houston, that I'm proud to be an American. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much. And it's great to be back in this beautiful state with thousands of proud, hardworking American patriots. That's what you are. Who is still recovering from the hurricanes that hit Florida, Georgia, North Carolina. But my message today is very simple. No person who has inflicted the violence and terror that Kamala Harris has inflicted on this community can ever be allowed to become the President of the United States. We're not going to let it happen. It's a woman, Danielle Jurinsky. And now America is known all throughout the world as Occupied America. They call it occupied. We're being occupied by a criminal force. And we're an occupied state that refuses to let our great law enforcement professionals do the job that they so dearly want to do. You know, they want to do the job so badly, but they're threatened constantly. You're going to lose your pension. They don't want to do it. What is this ideology? It's so sick. But to everyone here in Colorado and all across our nation, I make this pledge and vow to you November 5th, 2024, will be Liberation Day in America. It will be Liberation Day. I will rescue Aurora and every town that has been invaded and conquered. These towns have been conquered. Explain that to your governor. He doesn't have a clue. They've been conquered. And we will put these vicious and bloodthirsty criminals in jail or kick them out of our country, and we will be very, very effective in doing it. It's going to happen very, very fast.
In just 25 days, Colorado can shock. This state is going for Donald Trump. Look at all these photos around me. Are these the kids you grew up with? Are these the neighbors you were raised with? Are these the neighbors that you want in your city? No. These are the criminal migrants that Kamala Harris brought into your community. And as swiftly as they came, Donald Trump will send them back. God bless you. God bless Aurora. God bless Colorado. And God bless the United States. Thank you.
And I served 12 years in the U.S. with my own eyes what the failed progressive Democrat policies are doing to our...
With gunfire, another day in Aurora. And we will begin the largest deportation operation in the history of the United States. We will close the border. We will stop the invasion of illegals into our country. We will defend our territory. We will not be conquered. We will not be conquered. We will reclaim our sovereignty, and Colorado will vote for Trump as a protest and signal to the world that we are not going to take it anymore. We're not going to take it anymore. With your vote, we will achieve complete and total victory over these cities. And if they come back into our country, they will be told it is an automatic 10-year sentence in jail with no possibility of parole. And I'm hereby calling for the death penalty for any migrant that kills an American citizen or a law enforcement officer. We will make America wealthy again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, Colorado. Vote for Trump. God bless you. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. President. To all of you who just can't condemn Israeli Jewish genocide committed on Palestinian and not only Palestinian people, I understand you are willing to give the Jews a license to kill anybody, a license to bombard any country they please to nominate to be anti-Semitic, to nominate anybody for their enemy. This is deeply wrong. This should not be entertained here. Although we are being threatened and blackmailed by the rhetorics of anti-Semitism, we are being blackmailed by the Holocaust scary tale repeated here again and again. This is wrong. Israel is a terrorist state.
The time is over.
More clashes between Israel and Hezbollah, and the UN was once again caught in the crossfire. It comes as Israeli forces launch an air raid on central Beirut. Fox's Greg Palcott has more from northern Israel.
Fighting between Israeli forces and Hezbollah spreading across southern Lebanon on Friday. For the second time in 48 hours, the UN peacekeeping force in Lebanon says a round of explosions hit its headquarters. 2 UNIFIL workers were reportedly injured. The Israeli military admitted to opening fire in the area on Thursday, but says it ordered the peacekeepers to seek shelter.
This severe impediment to the mission's freedom of movement within the area of operation has limited the mission's monitoring and reporting ability.
The strikes come as Israel ramps up its air campaign against Hezbollah. Overnight strikes on central Beirut hit 2 residential buildings, killing more than 20 people and injuring dozens more in what was one of the deadliest attacks on the city in more than a year of war.
We lived through the war and the previous wars. It was not like what we are seeing and hearing now.
The region remains on high alert following Iran's massive ballistic missile strike on Israel last week. The Israeli Security Cabinet met Thursday to discuss a possible response. Still, the Biden administration says it remains hopeful about a possible ceasefire deal.
We're focused on resolving the border situation diplomatically and supporting whatever the Lebanese choose to do in terms of the state asserting its responsibilities.
Meanwhile, Israel's military says an anti-tank missile fired from Lebanon injured a man working on a farm in the north. In Haifa.
As the world prepares for Israel's response to Iran's October 1st attack, the U.S. is reportedly considering sending American troops to operate a missile defense system inside Israel. Now, as per reports, the Pentagon has discussed deploying a terminal high altitude area defense or THAAD THAAD missile battery to Israel. Israel's retaliatory attack to Iran is expected to provoke a counter-strike from Iran, and a THAAD battery could be used to intercept Iranian missiles. It would be operated by American forces on the ground and mark the first time that U.S. military personnel would be deployed in combat in Israel during the current crisis. U.S. troops have already been deployed in Gaza to build a pier for humanitarian aid and to man air defenses from neighboring Iraq and Syria. But they have not been engaged in combat in Israel so far. President Biden has previously said that he has no plans or intentions to put U.S. boots on the ground in combat. Israeli Prime Minister has also insisted that his country would defend itself with its own resources. But the move is, if brought to action, would underscore the extent of U.S. support for Israel. Biden told Netanyahu on a phone call earlier this week that the U.S. would maintain its ironclad commitment to Israel's security. But he also urged Netanyahu to end attacks on civilians in Lebanon. If the THAAD deployment goes ahead, it would further add to Israel's complex missile defenses, which include the Iron Dome, David Sling, and Arrow systems. A THAAD battery is operated from the ground. It uses radar detectors to identify an incoming ballistic missile before launching a projectile to neutralize it. The kill vehicle launched from the battery is a kinetic weapon with no warhead and can travel at more than 6,000 mph with a range of 120 miles.